And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely Brood War OST. Hope you are ready for our next and final qualifying match. We are jumping in mid-series into Demi versus ReWhite. We're getting into game number 2 as Demi is currently up 1-0. And because we're jumping in mid-series, I don't know if it's right to open up the predictions just because we're not here from the beginning and, you know, it's already leaning in one direction. So we're going to be holding off on predictions and just going straight into the games themselves. And here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Site Delta, we have the Indian Zerg player representing Matcherino Esports. It is Demi. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Protoss player representing Starlight Twinkle. It is ReWhite. Here we go. Also, a shout out to the chats. Just a word of warning, cooking a fully metallic creature like a Colossus takes a very, very long time for its meat to get soft, so beware. Yeah, you slow cook it, Pop. You slow cook it for 24 hours. It's okay, Pop. It's worth it. It's worth it. Oh, it depends. It depends if you want it to be well done or not. Well done. Oh my god. Animals, Pappy, animals. But yeah, unfortunately we missed out on game 1. Game 1 was taking place while we were in our own series, while we were in Ender versus Pez. And what I can tell you is what Demi told me. And he said that he made 100 meters last game. Which makes sense. Demi, he is the Muta King. He is the Southeast Asia Muta King, as opposed to the Latam Muta King, which was Jim Rising for a long time, for a very long time. So yeah, what I can tell you is that Demi, he went mass Muta. He made over 100, and he did take game 1. Let's go. And that is what Demi loves. You know, the reason why I call him the Muta King is because he is very fond of the Muta in every single matchup. If he can get away with going mass Muta, he will. Now, obviously, he's not a one-trick pony. Mutas, they aren't the only thing that he can make, but he's very fond of them. And if he ever finds an excuse, if he ever finds like an opening for it, he will take up into Spire if he can. Alas, he is leading the series 1-0. Meanwhile, ReWhite, his opponent, has also been doing quite well for himself. You know, he is a Chinese Protoss player, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe in recent times, unless I'm confusing him with another player, I may be confusing him with Young Zest. But ReWhite did recently defeat Showtime. Am I not mistaken? We casted that, right? I'm double checking. I don't want to confuse him with someone else, but Showtime did lose to a Chinese Protoss player recently, and yep, there we go. We casted ReWhite to take down Showtime a couple of days ago, and Showtime is top 2 Protoss in Europe. It's Showtime and MaxPax as the two best player as the two best Protosses in Europe, and ReWhite less than a week ago defeated Showtime in a very surprising series. Like we were lucky enough to cast that. And we'll see if he can replicate that success here. Obviously, PvP is a little bit different. PvP is a little bit different, and the matchup between Protoss and Zerg relies on different strengths and different weaknesses, so I don't know how much we can really read into it. But what I should say is that ReWhite has been putting in a lot of work, and clearly it has been paying off. Clearly for ReWhite to take down Showtime, again, it is a very impressive feat nonetheless. So we'll see if he can look impressive in another matchup like PBZ. For now, ReWhite's going to be going for a Stargate opener. Pretty standard stuff. Going to be going into an Oracle. Meanwhile, back at home, Demi just going to be getting saturated on 3 bases, droning, taking his 3rd, and spreading his creep. Outside of Demi's love of mutas, he's a pretty standard player. And he is going to be shut down here. This Overlord will fall, but did confirm the Stargate and the 3rd base. First Oracle moves out. And we don't have a second Oracle. We have a Void Ray as a follow-up. Interesting choice here from ReWhite. The Void Ray can shut down Overlords, can also help defend this 3rd base. Can't harass as well as an Oracle, but has, you know, other uses, I should say. As we do see the Oracle going to be dipping between the bases here, threatening those drones. So far, Demi's able to keep up. He does go for a sub 430 lair, which is going to be revealed with that revelation. And as we mentioned before, gases are being taken. Now, if this was any other player, 3 gases, this screams Hydras. But it's Demi, so it could be a Spire. Again, if it's anyone else, Hydras are on the way. But Demi, he could be going for mutas. Typically, mutas, they rely on 4 gases, so we still aren't quite there yet. 3 gases are still enough to support Hydra production, though. We don't have a Roach Warren. Their 4th gas has been taken. We'll see what kind of tech we head towards. Meanwhile, ReWhite's going for a standard follow-up, Twilight Council on a Forge. This should be for +1 and Blink Stalkers. Meanwhile, with this fast layer, show us the tech. What's it gonna be? Ha! Ha! As the adepts, they do shade in. 20 Lings are in production, and oh, drones are gonna be going down. A good position here for the adepts as well. And it is a Hydra Den. Okay. I was about to say that because Demi had gone mutas last game, it is unwise to rely on them 2 games in a row, so is going to be mixing it up with Hydras. The Queen goes down. The Oracles do get a pretty good kill here, pretty good pickoff, getting 3 more drones as well, but we lose an Oracle. Bit of an overextension from ReWhite. Void Ray comes in, gets an Overlord. At the same time, Lings are getting ready for their own counterattack, and again, Hydras are on the horizon. As Lings do end up catching a couple of adepts. 3 adepts will go down. The Stalkers will stand strong though, so Demi's going to have to back off from here. Has to respect the position of ReWhite, as ReWhite is just saturating his 3rd, getting it up and running. But Demi, he's not making any more workers. We're cutting workers here at 52. This is sub 3 base saturation, as we haven't taken additional gases, we haven't taken a 4th base. This is looking like a very strong Ling Hydra timing. As we mentioned before, Ender did something similar, and this has been very trendy. Like, Ling Hydra all-ins have been very trendy as of late, amongst even players like Serral and Raynor and Dark. Even they have been prone to going for these big all-ins, just because, again, the Hydra was buffed in the recent patch. I should say the upgrades are cheaper, so it's now a little bit easier to tech into Hydras and to really buff them up and work on them. And here we go, Demi is moving out. Meanwhile, back at home, ReWhite is preparing. Cannon, shield battery, stasis trap as well. Pretty good position here at the 3rd, but ReWhite is spreading himself thin, taking a 4th. And here we go, Demi is all in. He's going to be crashing on 4th. He's down heavily in workers, but he's looking to dive on these Stalkers. Oh, the Stalkers, they struggle against Ling Hydra. They need support. They need something to support themselves, and alas, so many Stalkers are going down. The cannons, the shield batteries as well will be denied, as everything is depowered. Oh, we even cancel the warp in. Artosis pylon does go down. We are running out of Lings. We do need more Lings to buffer. And Hydras, they are fragile. They are expensive. As Demi pushes in towards that 4th base, takes down the pylon once again. I said takes down the pylon. And the entire army here of ReWhite is going down. Not just the army, but the 4th base. Demi's bleeding out a bit much here, and here come reinforcements. Yo, ReWhite, he's setting up a surround. He's collapsing on this position. He's going to be able to clean up all these Hydras, and will ReWhite even hold on to the 4th? No shot. More reinforcements come in, and it looks like Demi will barely break through. He takes down the 4th. He cleans up the Stalkers. But Demi is still all in. Demi's got a lot of catching up to do drone-wise. ReWhite is still on 70 workers, now 69. Nice. As Demi is not done, he cancels the 4th once again. He will back off. Infestation Pit, double Evo chambers for upgrades, 4th base on the way, and Demi is droning. He did do a lot of damage, but was it enough to really set him ahead? This is what's scary. Double Robo, Colossus production. Oh boy, ReWhite is going to be able to get his 4th base up and running, and Demi doesn't have a big economic lead. He's even losing more drones. No Spore here at the 3rd base. Ay, ay, ay. 7 workers go down. Like, Demi, he did some amazing damage, but that push was designed to kill, not cripple, and he didn't even cripple. He more or less evened things up, and when it comes to an even worker count, that is always better for the Protoss. The army of the Protoss is becoming more and more terrifying. We have 2 Colossus, we're about to have 4. And Colossus, they just mow their way through a Ling Hydra composition. We need lurkers. And this lurker den, it does feel late. But we'll see. We'll see how much time ReWhite gives Demi. We've been here before. We were in a similar situation in the previous PvZ with Ender. He just needs to buy time long enough to get into lurker production, and then he can survive. Then Demi can look for a longer game. But ReWhite should be pushing out soon. So essentially with Protoss, a big power spike moment is 4 Colossi. And here we are, 4 Colossus come out. We have a War Prism on the way to reinforce. Once the War Prism comes out, ReWhite is going to be being active. He's going to be out on the field, out on the map. Lurker Den is still finishing up, and this army here from Demi is just not good enough. He cannot stop this push. Not yet. We have Vipers in production. Vipers will help, definitely. But ReWhite, he's already halfway across the map. And he's pushing in. 4 lurkers are in production, and Demi needs time. He needs Oliveira. 7 lurkers in production. But ReWhite is getting on top of them. The lurkers are going down one after the other. Do we have detection? Do we need detection? There it is, revelation on those lurkers, and they will fall one after the other. They do not have enough support. The Viper goes down, and ReWhite is snowballing out of control. It's just too much. GG gets called. And we have a series. GG, well played, ReWhite. He fights back, he puts a point on the board, and we are tied up 1-1. GG, well played. Again, when it comes to Demi's Hydra or Ling Hydra all-in, keyword there, all-in, you know, it had to either kill ReWhite or cripple the economy. Killing the 4th base was not crippling the economy. That was really just evening up the economy in a way, and Demi would still be struggling from there. He needed to do more damage. He needed to snowball out of control. He needed to break into the natural or break the 3rd as well. Alas, he could not. Ran out of steam. And with that, we have a back and forth. And that's all I want. That is all I want. You know, I don't want none of these 3-0s. No. No 3-0s here. I want us to go the distance if possible. And even go to an ace match. But we'll see. It's not up to me. It is up to the players. Oh, I understand. Okay. Just like a slow grilled pulled lobster. Oh god. Here we go. Yo, shout out to Pez in the chat. Again, a now qualified player. Lunking, Pappy, lunking. And for those that are curious, we are alternating back and forth. We're actually switching between Singapore and Taiwan. Game 1 was on Taiwan, game 2 Singapore, game 3 Taiwan, back and forth, from my understanding. Just for balanced ping. And we'll see who takes a lead in this series. See who is able to come out on top. Just like a lobster that shoots lasers. Ah, it's beautiful. I want to sink my teeth into it. Ay, ay, ay. You're all animals. But last, we are getting ready for our next game. And do we have any other updates? I believe there was one other qualifying match that was ongoing. I believe it was Silky, if I'm not mistaken. Silky versus... I'm not too sure. Silky versus Stargazer. That is currently ongoing. To determine who else makes it through into the closed qualifier. Again, my favorite player there is Silky, but Stargazer is a strong player in his own right. So best of luck. Best of luck to Stargazers. I feel like Stargazer used to go by another name. Am I crazy? Potentially. Here we go. We are diving on in. And again, we still have a little bit of time here to ourselves, even after this series. For those wondering, for those wondering, there is the European qualifier in a couple of hours as well. It is in 2.5 hours. I'm sorry, 2 hours. In 2 hours time. And I do plan on staying up. I do plan on staying up for the European qualifiers and covering that as well. That is the plan. That is the plan. Oh, as we have found our players and we are loading in to Game 3 on Alkioni. Here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alkioni. We have the Chinese Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Starlight Twinkle. It is ReWhite. I don't know what he calls himself here, but I hope it's okay. It's spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. We have his opponent. We have the Indian Zerg player, the best player in all of India, representing Macherino Esports. It is Demi. Trying to spice things up in that last game with a Ling Hydra all-in. Unfortunately, was not enough. Was not enough in the end to overcome and overpower ReWhite. But we'll see if we head into a different direction and a different game. So far, it's going to be a hatch first out of Demi. Again, it's so refreshing. I got a lot of love for Ender, but in the last series against Pez, Ender, he kept going for gas pool openers, like just really aggressive openers that led into like these different directions and different pathways. It was, yeah, just a really crazy player to follow when it comes to his build orders and his early game. Demi is a little more cut and dry. Hatch gas pool, standard opener. Standard economic opener out of Demi, and I expect to see this more often than not. Doesn't really divert too often when it comes to the early game. Now, we have seen Demi go for these Ling Floods and Ling All-Ins. Like, that is something that I expect to see at some point in this series. But so far, everything is looking as it should. We are just droning up to 19. Overlord's on the way. And likewise, ReWhite also going to be going for a gate expand into the Cyber Core. Standard stuff. Standard opener here out of ReWhite. Now my eyes are on Demi here when it comes to his droning. At the moment, you know, he's making 2 Lings just to show away that probe. Link speed is on the way. We pull out of gas once we have Link speed. Yeah, we are just going to be saturating our bases. Interesting that Demi, he actually only pulls 1 drone out of gas. This is interesting. So he is still a little bit committed here to gas income. This could lead into a fast lair. Which would lead into a fast Hydra push or even something like Aspires. Yeah, he pulls back into gas really early on. Very early on. And there it is. It's a Bane bust. Okay, so I was reading this as potentially fast lair play for like a Nidus all-in, or like another Hydra rush, but no, it is going to be a Bane bust out of Demi. Lings are on the way. We're cutting workers here at 23. Demi is going all in. Meanwhile, back at home, ReWhite is unawares of what's going on. Everything that he scouted was normal. You know, we had a 3rd base on the way, standard opener, droning as well. ReWhite is none the wiser. He's going for a Stargate opener into an Oracle. Meanwhile, the Ling Bane is coming. And he needs to hold on to control of the Zonaga, needs to make sure that the Lings are hidden and that the Banelings don't get focused down by that Oracle. Let's see, we go. The Banelings are on the way. The goal here to bust into that natural. We do have a Stalker in position. This wall is looking solid. The Adept is shading out and, oh my god, does not scout. Doesn't see the Banelings. The Adepts are moving out to expand and take that 3rd base. The Lings are about to reveal themselves the Banelings as well. And what do we go for? Are we going for the Cyber Core? Banelings, they will crash into the Stalker. The Stalker holds strong. Stalkers, they take a lot. I think they take 11 Banelings to kill, but the Stalker will go down. Oh, eventually, no, it will not. Oh my god. ReWhite's holding. Doesn't lose anything. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, Demi gonna try for round 2, but alas, there's a sentry of force field. GG gets called. There is no way to pull this off, and ReWhite defends, taking game 3, taking a lead in this series. GG. GG, well played. Again, Stalkers, they are beefy boys. They take a lot of Banelings to knock down, and we saw there that Demi did not have enough to break that wall. Did not have enough to pull off the all-in. And just like that, ReWhite, he is 1 game away. Uno mas, 1 game away from qualifying for the closed qualifier. Oh boy. Demi is up against the wall, and that is something that I did not expect. You know, coming into this, I favor Demi a little bit here. You know, Demi, especially in like a standard game, like Demi, he's been so aggressive. He's been so aggressive. He's been so in his face. It's been a little bit surprising. I typically don't see this side of Demi. Like, again, he's known for like ling flooding and stuff like that, but yeah, for Demi to go for these all-ins 2 games in a row, it's not working. It's not working out for him. And I know that I can favor Demi in the mid game, in the late game, in the mid game mainly. Maybe in the late game as well. Maybe in the late game. But we'll see. It's not on me. It's on Demi on how he decides to approach this. How he decides to approach game number 4. Meanwhile, I should give praise where credit is due. Credit where credit is due here. ReWhite has been doing beautifully defending. He's been doing such a great job here at just focusing on his defensive play, on his unit control, unit micro, pulling back his Stalkers, his Adepts, warping in the Sentry, force fielding, or having the force field available. Yeah, so far, really solid stuff here out of ReWhite. And this could be potentially the final game of the series, as up next we're loading in to Oceanborn. Here we go. We're getting into game 4, Oceanborn. Pretty interesting map. We're going under the sea, of course, and does have a short rushes by ground. If we wanted to all in, this wouldn't be a bad map for it, to be fair, but I don't think I want that out of Demi. Not after what we've seen so far. Not after these games. But here we go. We're getting into this and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn. We have the Indian Zerg player representing Maturino Esports. Down in this series, he needs to win this game to force the ace match. It is Demi. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Protoss player. Oh god. There we go. We have the Chinese Protoss player representing Starlight Twinkle. It is ReWhite. 1 game away. 1 game away from qualifying for the closed qualifiers of the Asia region for ESL Masters Winter. Can he pull it off? Once again, hatch first. Hatch first here out of Demi. We'll keep an eye on his gases. We are an Oceanborn short rush distance by ground, or shorter than some of the other maps that we've had. But you can take a secure 3 bases and get into the mid game. But again, my eyes are on Demi. Hatch gas pool so far, so standard opener. Everything is looking as it should. Everything is looking normal. And ReWhite just hasn't really been doing anything out of the norm, right? Every game that we've casted so far, it's been Stargate opener into a 3rd base, into +1 blink Stalkers. Everything's been by the book from ReWhite. Just gotta keep doing you. Keep it up, man. Keep it up. Standard play is standard for a reason. Very solid. Very solid overall. As the Overlord is coming in, just getting confirmation of the opener, just making sure there isn't any kind of crazy 2-gate opener, that there is an expansion. Demi just getting a read of the situation before dipping on out. And things will settle here in the early game. I should also keep an eye on there we go. This time we did pull out a gas after link speed. There's only 1 in gas, which is normal. Remember in the previous game, Demi kept 2 in and then he pulled very quickly back in, getting a 3rd going. But with only 1 in gas, we're getting to a 3rd base. Getting to a 3rd base, we're droning. This time everything is looking very macro oriented out of Demi. And we'll see if he sticks to it. Because again, he's been very aggressive so far today. Very aggressive. Behind this Stargate open out of ReWhite, this should be for an Oracle, as we've seen in every game so far. And he's been getting some damage done with it. He hasn't been doing too poorly with his Oracle control. First Oracle is being chronoed out. The wall is being thrown down. ReWhite going to be eventually working towards his 3rd base. And are we finally going to get a mid game between these 2 players? Are we finally going to get a more back and forth? I want it. Keep. Wings of Demi here. They do get eyes and they do delay the 3rd base for a moment. Nicely done. Demi also ensuring that there is a base being taken. Ooh, that is a sub 4-minute lair. We pulled back into gas, Papi. What's it gonna be? What is our queen count looking like as well? 4 queens, 5th queen on the way. Really, I'm looking at the gases. This could be for a Link Queen Nidus all in. We are droning though. Oracle gonna be going ham here at the natural base. We have a Twilight Council follow-up. Where is the Forge? Uh-oh. ReWhite is shifting gears. This is looking like Glaive Adepts. This looks like a Glaive Adept follow-up. Speaking of Vanilla Adepts, do shade into that natural base. 2 workers go down. 2 more gases have been taken. This is looking like a Hydra opener. This is looking like Ling Hydra from Demi. I'm getting some flashbacks, some Vietnam PTSD here. We saw this earlier with Ender. Okay, Forge is on the way. Thankfully. Forge is on the way. Big prioritization on Blink. And there it is. There is that Hydra Den. So Ling Hydra from Demi. Thankfully, he's not going to be hard countered by Glaive Adepts. Going to be Blink Stalkers. Which is a good thing. A good thing for Demi. He's able to get into this, saturate his bases. Has the Hydra Den been spotted so far? So far, it is in the main and has not been scouted. But ReWhite, he hasn't seen the lair either. So there we go. Revelation does reveal the lair and the Hydra Den. Now ReWhite is fully aware of what's going on. And ReWhite should be taking a defensive position. He should be throwing down additional static defense and working towards a robotic spay for some splash damage. Because Demi's moving out. He's cutting workers here at 56. He's not taking another gas geyser. Oh my god. Demi is going to be committing. This is very similar to the game on side Delta, to game 2. Demi, he's got 5 overlords on the way. Demi is going to be going all in. There is that robotic space. Now again, the difference is that this time ReWhite, he saw the all-in coming. He's getting ready for it. There we go. A wall of shield batteries, cannons, Colossus on the horizon. ReWhite is preparing. We should even be seeing some stasis wards. There it is. Stasis traps are being thrown down. Again, ReWhite, he knows. And Demi's committed. One way or another, the game will end. Either Demi breaks ReWhite or ReWhite defends. I like that from Demi. He's trying to trigger the stasis trap. Alas, he isn't able to. Link is about to finish. The Link's trying to get us around. Stasis trap will go off, does catch a lot of those lings. Demi trying to break on through, overcharge, putting in a lot of work, keeping that adept alive. Demi, he dives onto the shield battery. He will get it, but he's losing too many Hydras. Too many Hydras are going down. That's the entire army. GG gets called, and ReWhite will hold. And ReWhite will qualify for ESL Masters Winter, the Asia Closed Qualifier. GG. Hold on, that was the wrong scene. GG, well played. Congratulations! If you didn't hear it before. GG, well played. And congratulations to ReWhite here for taking the series. And I'm a little bit surprised. I'm a little bit shocked. Demi, he's usually not this aggressive. Every game that we casted. Not all 4 games, because we missed game 1. Game 1 did sound like it was more macro, but game 2, game 3, game 4, Demi was just all in, game after game after game. There was no other way about it, and yeah, like ReWhite, he was just able to, not every game was he able to get a read on what was happening, but I mean, we saw him completely shut it down in that final game, and yeah, just props to ReWhite and his scouting, to his defensive play, to his reactions as well. I do think that he was in the most danger in game 2, when Demi, on site Delta, when Demi had broken through the 4th, but he wasn't able to keep on pushing, and yeah, really impressive macro there out of ReWhite. Very impressive stuff. Congratulations for making it through. My condolences to Demi, as Demi will have to try again tomorrow. He had a good run. He had a good run making it all the way. And I wonder if it was like maybe lack of confidence. I know that ReWhite, he has been looking pretty strong recently, and he has been getting a lot of really good results. But yeah, Demi, he just did not want to get into the mid game, into a standard mid game against him. He was not feeling too confident about it and committed to all-ins instead, and they did not work out. GG, well played. Congratulations. And with that, I believe that is our final series. I believe that is our final qualifying match. As I'm just trying to catch up here on the bracket, and okay, so we do have some confirmed qualified players. We have Pez, we have ReWhite, and we have Jim. Oh, sorry. We have Jim. Sorry. And it was... As I just have to correct myself, and it was yes, sorry, Jim makes it through. It's going to be Silky versus Stargazer. That is a series that I'm not too sure if that's actually occurred. I think that's currently ongoing. I know that for a while Stargazer was looking for Silky. I believe Stargazers was looking for Silky, as they were trying to find each other for their next series, but it looks like they are mid-series. Okay, it looks like they are currently in the middle of their best of 5, and I think they are, yeah, they're currently duking it out, and I don't think I'm going to be able to catch them. Unfortunately, I don't think I can catch Silky versus Stargazer. I think yeah, I think I'm a little bit too late to the party on that, and they may end up wrapping up. Regardless, I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. I hope everyone enjoyed all the matches that we had tonight. Unfortunately, we didn't get to feature any Terrans. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we can cast some Hon Mono or some Nazin. If you want some more... DreamHack action, then tomorrow we will have the second Open Qualifier for this region, for the Asia region. So, yeah, all these players like Ender, Demi, Lemon, Misaki as well, Yogur, they all have another chance tomorrow. So we'll be able to see them then. Meanwhile, when it comes to more casting here on this channel, we're going to be live in 2 hours. In 2 hours, we have Europe. In 2 hours, the European qualifier is going to be live, and we will be there to bring you as much coverage as we can, as I've decided to stay up. We're doing it, Papi. We're staying up all the way. It's gonna kill me. It is gonna kill me. But it's like, we like it, puppy, we like it. Currently, World Team League is going on. I didn't get to mention it, but that's another big reason as to why no other English caster is covering this event, is because World Team League is ongoing. And usually we also cast WTL. Usually we're also on World Team League. But we did want to, I mean, imagine a world where we decided to cast World Team League today. No one would have casted the qualifiers. That's crazy. That's a little bit wild. So it would have been a shame. It would have been a big shame. And again, we know what we want, we know what we love, and we love the Asia region. We love these qualifiers. We want to bring attention to some of these up and coming players. So this is kind of where our loyalties lie. We may cast World Team League in a couple of days, like through replays. We may do a replay cast instead to catch up on everything. As I'm quickly just double checking. And it looks like World Team League, they're about to finish up actually. They are nearing the end of their own broadcast as well. So all is well, all is good. So yeah, that's what's happening at the moment. Again, we won't be casting World Team League this weekend just because it clashes with all the qualifiers for Asia. So we will be focusing on the Asia qualifiers, and we may cast World Team League in a couple of days during the week via replays, basically. Just a replay cast to catch up. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you so much for your support. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid, so again, give them a chance. They can entertain you. They can give you plenty of entertainment, and we will be back in 1 hour and 45 minutes with the European qualifiers. So yeah, there's plenty of StarCraft going on tonight. After the European qualifiers, the Americas qualifiers. All three. We're casting all three regions today and tomorrow and the day after. So we'll see you then. With that, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for the support. And we'll see you guys in a couple of hours. Bye.